Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question tonight. What are some of the best General Hospital storylines? Now, I've been watching the show since the year 2000. I did a video before with me and DC talking about our top favorite soap opera, our top General Hospital storylines. Of course, mine is going to be the Metro Court. The water pathogen, the Metro Court, I can sit there and think of. I want to know, what are your thoughts? What are your favorite storylines so far? Cherie is in the chat. What's good, Cherie? Thank you for joining us. Gemini is in the chat. What's good? You know, Gemini, I somewhat made it on time as well. I made it on time as well. In fact, just wanted to get my liking. Well, thank you, Cherie. Thank you so much. I am loving the profile picture. Isaiah's in the chat. What's good, Isaiah? It's been a hot minute. How have you been? Thank you, Gemini. Yes, hit that like button right off the bat because it really does help. Like, no, seriously, it really does help. Mel is in the chat. What's good, Melanie? My friend Kyrie is in the chat. Clark Industries. Of course, you know, it's funny. I usually will watch the next episode early, but if I have time tomorrow, I'll do a review on it. Because I miss doing reviews on why. I wanted to do one today because today was actually a really good episode. It was a good episode. Gemini says anything with Luke besides the Laura. Yeah. Shauna's in the chat. Was good, Shauna. Tamara's in the chat. Was good, Tamara. Thank you for joining tonight. Isaiah says Sunny, Alexis, Carly, Love Triangle during 2001, 2002 was really good. Let me just pour my drink. Again. Tracy Steve is in the chat. What's good, Tracy Steve? You know, you was also in James. You was also in James live stream earlier, right? I just sit there and watch the replay. You came on early while I was at work, but I did hear your name now. Did hear your name. Whenever I hear people's names, like my favorites and stuff like that goes on his live stream, it's like I know the name right off the bat. I was like, since I heard Tracy, yep. Since I heard Tracy Stevens, I was like, okay, cool. Jimmy, that's how I want to watch our episode for tomorrow, but since you said it was good, I will check it out. Yeah, I liked it. Isaiah says Heather Weber's storyline 2012 was awesome. Tamara says I was hoping you were doing a wine review today. I'm fixing to return watching. Yeah. Oh, trust me, Tamara. I wanted to today. Tuesdays is always a nightmare for me. I didn't do my General Hospital review until like much later. But yeah, I trust me. I wanted to because when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. Also, I love it when Johnny told Leo I was going to. Yeah, I mean, you know, Mel, a lot of times Leo is just there at this point for comic relief. Hopefully, they give him a good storyline again. Harry says, I like to point out in my review, I'm sure Hope Sunny has some. Harry's, yes, you know, it's funny too because I talked about in my review as well. Every time there's a kissing scene with Sunny, it's just really hard to watch. Big Nate is in the chat. What's good, Nate? Last day, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining. But Kyrie, yeah, and just everyone in general, it's very difficult to watch um Sunny's kissing scenes. It's like, I already said in my review. Gemini says Sunny and Brenda Love hate storyline was much watched TV. Queen Nikisha's in the chat. Nikisha said, I'm busy making dinner, but I'm listening to y'all. Hope y'all all had a good day. Hope you had a good day as well, Nikisha. Oh, God. Oof. I didn't even put the hot sauce in there yet. Shauna says Nina's like a kid lashed out when she doesn't get her way. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. See, this is another reason why I want to sit there and just do YouTube full time. I wanted to do a review on Days of Our Lives today. Oh, he died. Hey, no, he's alive. Well, wait, he's in a coma. And then they actually had us they had us go through that whole shooting shooting him again. Like, are you kidding me? We literally saw that yesterday. They decided to spend 3 or 4 minutes on that. You're joking, right? Gemini says, so generally in the 90s were great. Fashion and the sets were much better. No, not everything. Not everything, and everyone looks cheap. Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, well, you're actually right about that. They had a bigger budget back then. They didn't have the competition that they have now, and the ratings aren't what they used to be as well. Shonda says Sally and Adam getting closer when Nick's not around. I feel like I should do a separate video on this whole love triangle thing. So I might want to do them one day. Last day I'm doing get my fifth. Yes. Last day I am loving it. I am super happy for you. I am super proud of you. You are literally killing it last day. Please, I'm speechless. You have left me speechless. And I am in awe of you and what you're doing. Darby's in the chat. What's good, Darby? Thank you for joining us tonight. Terry says I love Tracy shading Carly. It was hilarious. I love their back and forth. I love their back and forth. Um, the minute she walked in the room, she was like, "What is she doing here?" I was like, "Damn, okay, nice to see you too." Of course, Carly was like, "Well, I have a reason for being here." I'm like, "She's a quartermain." Shauna says Ashley has some tucking to move in. Jack will have a fit. Ron, what is good, Ron? Gemini says Nina is a spoiled rich kid from the Upper East Side of Manhattan. They are mean is a different way. Yeah. Hmm. Laura B's in the chat. What's good, Laura B? How are you doing tonight? Hmm. Oh, okay. Mel says I love Tucker and Ashley together, and I was surprised. You know, I got some opinions on that. I got some opinions on that. I don't. Of course, that damn thing called work got in the way. I really want to sit there and go on that. Darby says it seemed out of teasing Tucker. Her favorite hobby is pushing Jack's buttons for no good reason. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I love my girl Ashley to some extent because, well, I'm gonna be honest, she's hot, but she can get pretty damn annoying, like really, really, really fast. Like, oh my god, that woman can be kind of annoying. I'm gearing up to ask a question, so that's um. Last day says thank you, Albert. Tomorrow I'm making my first non-BNB review to give my channel something different on. First 8 BNB videos and response have been amazing. It's giving me confidence to add more. Yes. Well, last day, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what you're gonna do next. I really am. Terry says I hate that Ashley caved to whiny Tucker. You know that's funny too is when I was watching it today, I was sitting there thinking about you, Kyrie. So I was like, you know, I can see what he's talking about. Anita's in the chat. Anita is in the chat. Anita says Tracy's showing up. Good for us. I miss her. Holly, waste of our time. Damn, does anyone actually in the chat actually does anyone in the chat actually likes Holly returning? Very curious about that. Now Shauna says Ashley should have moved Tucker in when he moved in Diane. Well, you know, it's never too late to be spiteful. Gemini says Ashley still has an issue not being John's daughter, but your mom cheated. Ron says some people are still saying that if Tyler was Nicholas. Yeah, Ron, we did talk about that yesterday. Valerie's in the chat. Now Valerie says not really. Krista's in the chat. What's good, Krista? Krista says I think anything from 1993, 1999 was the best. GH peaking with Miguel, Lily, Sunny, Brenda, Jax, click boom. Valerie's putting up an emoji. Carrie says Anna and Alexis scene together was the most boring scene in the show. Yeah, it was. It was. It wasn't. It was another. It was another filler episode, which I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really too happy about. Ariana's in the chat. Was good, Ariana. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you had a great day and a great weekend. Well, great day. And it's amazing to see you 2 days in a row. I'm loving it. Kelly says, "Oh, sorry, it's a hint." No, no. Trust me, I kind of got what it was. Like the emoji thing. Another Another says, "Boring, boring, unnecessary. I thought she couldn't have children. Who couldn't have children? Anita. Dolly's in the chat. Was good, Dolly. Kelly said, "Yeah, I'll say it again, Tyler." I love it, Kyrie's. I love it. Kyrie's is always keeping it at 100. Yes, that's very true. That is very yeah. They did find his body today, which I'm gonna be honest. This whole it's lazy. It's just straight up lazy. gonna be honest. Latte says best GH storyline for me is Spencer burn face because it got me into watching GH in 2015. That was the first year I watched GH on TV. Okay. Ariana says it was long. It was long made. 2 Starbucks run. Wow, 2. We're talking about what is the best. What was some of the best General Hospital storylines? What were some of the best storylines that you can think of that you like? Now, like I said, me and DC, we wound up doing a video about our top 3 or 5. I lost count. I don't know what your thoughts are. Darby says Holly doesn't make me want to miss her. Anita. I feel like I'm mispronouncing your name again. Um, Now Ron says Kyrie's Tyler would have done it because he had to do what the writers wanted him to do. It's his job. uh, you know, I think that's how you say his name. And Kyrie says, Ron, they would never. Ew. Let me start asking these questions while I'm coherent. 1 sec. That's right, Valerie. You got to say it just like that. Ew. Monique's in the chat. Monique says, "Hey everyone, best storyline the hostage situation at the Metro Court and when Jason took over Sonny's organization." That is very true. I did. I'm glad you're in the chat, Monique. Well, come on, Dolly. If you don't say it like that, it's not any fun. I mean, come on. Carrie says that was a typo. But it was a very fun typo though. All right. Tracy said it was exactly. See, even Tracy Steves agrees with me. Yeah, just a question. Valerie says no, Albert. Um, okay, Valerie, you don't know who Michael Fairman is. Harry says clout that ain't in this chat. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know if anyone knows who Michael Fairman is. So far, Valerie says no. Ariana says the hostage situation at the Metro Court and when Sonny got involved with the Russians. Hmm. And Dolly says Metro Court was a great storyline and also love when Claudia lost her her ever loving mind. Yeah, Metro. I definitely love the Metro Court. You have Jerry Jackson that they talking about. You want to be the employee of the month. I think he said that to Sam when she was going to push the panic button. We got Spinelli. That's when he came into the show. Great. And Ron says Kyrie's and Marcus are the same Nicholas, and they are playing a role given by the writers. So to say that Tyler would not have done that is ridiculous. The amazing Jenna is in the chat. Then Nikki said yes, he does soap interviews. Okay, cool. Monique says that, okay, so yeah, so some people seem to know who he is. Janet, is always a pleasure and a blessing to have you in the chat. So Monique says, I just listened to Brock's review on JT said, what the hell is wrong with Nina? Sunny is offering her a trip away an island of his own and she turns it down. And Dolly says he's a big time soap reporter, kind of like the Barbara Walter. Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know he was that big. I knew he was big. I felt like he was kind. I didn't know he was on that level. Though. I guess it makes sense. And I'm assuming he's also been in Soap Opera Digest. I'm assuming he's been in Soap Opera Digest. Here's what I'm supposed to ask that, right? Because Tracy, I know Tracy Steves is in the chat, and James live stream. And Laura B says I don't know the name. Because I know Tracy Steves is in James live stream, and JoJo was in his live stream. I'm just wondering, what is the story with those two? Somebody asked, because I guess Michael Fairman was doing some sort of video, and he asked James, "Hey, did you watch this video? Or whatever, you're gonna watch this video on so and so," and he pretty much just had very, very negative energy about it. So I don't understand what is this whole beef about or this whole vendetta about. I gotta ask him the next time I'm in his live stream, whenever he comes on, and if I can catch him, because I don't understand that. I wanna understand that. So I'm very curious if anyone who watches James knows anything about this whole James and Michael Fairman thing. He shut that down hard body. He was like, "Yo, listen, you gonna watch the video?" And he was like, "Nope, nope, not doing that." I was like, "Damn." Jimena says, "I just read Devon's mom is coming to visit him next month. Interesting. One black actor at a time." hmm. Also, I feel like I'm about to have the hiccups, so that's gonna be fun. Shauna says, "Sunny always coddles Nina, but he was cold to Carly. That's why she's tough." Yeah, I mean, you know about the whole not having the same energy for one person as opposed to the other person. That's yeah. Ron says, "So Albert, people still blame Marcus for bad writing, which is not his fault." Toby says, "My personal favorite scene was AJ dying. He escorted to heaven by his sister Emily and the rest of his family." I didn't see that, Darby. I gotta sit there and try to watch that video. I gotta try to watch maybe if I could try to catch you on YouTube. I didn't know that. Also, what I didn't know was that the original AJ was played by Sean Caden. I thought that it was always by Billy Warlock. So when Sean Caden came back to play, um, when Sean Caden came back to playing AJ, I was like, what? And apparently he was the original AJ, unless I'm wrong. Krista said there's a rumor that Esme and Nicholas hooked up was Marcus' idea. Ooh. Ariana says Carly was tough before Sunny. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Sunny did not make her tough. And we're not gonna give credit to Sunny for making her tough. Denise says, "Hey Albert, what's good, Denise? Thank you for joining us." Gemini says Deacon was on all the soaps. That's what's up. My guy Sean Caden gets around. Nikki said nobody in this chat is blaming Marcus for bad writing. Maybe on Twitter, but I don't see it in this chat. And Kyrie seconds that. Shauna says if Sonny says he knows Carly, well, he knows Nina too. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. So if anyone knows, you know, well, I think I don't know if people actually know. Now, Anita says anything Tracy on Cheese was my favorite. I love when she was with Luke. Yeah, honestly, touch. I was gonna ask people in the chat if they knew anything about this whole beef thing, but I'll just ask James. Um, maybe if he's on tomorrow. Krista says rumor has it that Marcus Holmes wanted more creative control, and that's why he didn't like the direction, and that's why he didn't renew his contract and he walked. Hmm. James says thought on RJ on B&B. The jury's still out. I'm not gonna lie, Ridge is actually pissing me off. Like today, he was annoying the living hell out of me. Constantly badgering RJ. Oh, you want to work at Forest Creation? You want to sit there and do something at Forest Creation? You have a gift. Why don't you sit there and work at Forest Creation? For 15 damn minutes, that's all this man did. And he's talking about, I wanna do my own thing. Now, granted, I don't like the word social media influencer. I don't like that word. Jerry Still out now. I gotta see this dude in action. So it's I hope they actually give him some good storyline. He's just not there just to cause friction between Brooke and Brooke and Taylor. Because I feel like that's if he's just gonna be there for a plot device. Now Shauna says, why is Liam still whining? Jesus Christ. That's like the $1 million question. Shauna, how long has it been? Like what, 4 days? A week? 2 weeks? 4 weeks? Like literally. Keeps asking Steffi about the same goddamn thing. It is so irritating. Can I really trust? Can I really trust Thomas? I mean, why'd you hire him back? I mean, I just don't understand. Like, Gemini says, RJ is making good money as a social media influencer and traveling the world. Oh no, no, I mean that's awesome. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Gemini says Liam is always whining. Yeah, I mean, Ariana says, so glad B&B is only 30 minutes long. Yeah, but here's the thing, Ariana. When you're watching it live, it feels like an eternity. It feels like an eternity watching B&B. Jesus Christ. I mean, you are literally going through like 12 minutes of commercials. Ron says, Albert Phoenix said that bold is repetitive and everyone says the same thing every week. Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of people in this chat can probably agree as far as B&B is concerned. Now, Curry says, I just wish they would cast Demarcus as a different character. I have nothing against the actor, but he never felt right for the role as Nicholas. Yeah, Denise, I mean, it's just, especially when I'm home from work, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to sit there and watch B&B, and I'm doing my notes, and then the commercials just keep going and going, and it just feels like there's no end to the show. Um, Shauna says, why is he over Steffi's house? Even Finn didn't like the fact that he popped up there like, yo, bro, come on. I'm trying to get it in. You just. And Monique says, when Jason and Brenda had to marry because she thought he had a terminal illness, those two are like long lost siblings. Yeah, she was being very. I do remember that. I do remember part of that scene. She was being very bratty. Very, very bratty. Gemini says, Liam, Bill is your father, so you should not be judging Thomas. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, Denise, it feels like it's damn eternity. I feel like I had another question. Hmm. I do have another question. Anita says B&B way. The last day, Mel says I have DirecTV and that I can fast forward the commercials when I record it. Yeah, yeah. Mel, what do you mean you can when you record you can fast forward to commercials? You mean like after it's played? You mean like after the episode played, right? Like not live. Blackmon is in the chat. What's good, Blackmon? Thank you for joining. I'm doing great, Blackmon. I made it through Hell Day. I made it through Hell Day. And I came out on the other side. Where the hell is my goddamn pen at? Well, how are you doing, Blackmon, now? Janice says, I don't think Thomas and Hope. Also, I don't think Thomas and Hope. I don't think hook up is happening soon. What makes you say that, Janet? I'm very curious about that. Karen is in the chat. What's good, Karen? Karen says the best GA storyline were the one that involved Jerry Jacks. Were the ones that involved, yes, water pathogen, the Metro Court hostage situation. I'm glad they had that black mod. Now, Mel says I can fast forward the commercials without recording it on my DirecTV. Oh, you mean you can actually watch? So, okay, so Matt, you're telling me as you're watching the episodes, like 1:30, whatever, you're watching it. You're telling me you're able to, like, fast forward it while you're. That's crazy. Jonah says Tom constantly apologizing, getting old. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, Valerie says, why is they hell they are? Waking up early to try to get to Starbucks before I go to work is always somewhat stressful because I always want to make sure I get my Starbucks before I go to work. And then when I get out, by the time it takes me to get home, I want to sit there and try to watch all the soap operas. I want to sit there and try to make sure I do the review at the very least on General Hospital. So between trying to watch all the four soaps, being a long day, being kind of tired, and then at least trying to get out one review, it becomes pretty much hell day at that point. But yeah, that's why. Now Janice says they seem to be moving away from her fixation for now. Yeah, but yeah, just in total, that's why. Yeah, that's why it's hell day. Denise said Diane had me cracking up in her scene today. Robert and Holly, and they're sitting at the table with Alexis. Oh yeah, she was hella jealous. Krista says, "Yeah, Brock beat you with his review today." Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be too surprised. Um, you mean as far as coming out early or just numbers? Because numbers, I think that kind of goes without saying. But as far as putting it out first. Carrie says Diane better make Robert work for her forgiveness. Diane deserves to be treated like a queen. What Robert did was unacceptable. I do actually agree with that. Um, Because I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, yo, the minute that Holly came into the room, she just sat in the corner like you really just gonna sit there and act like I'm not here? Chelsea Brown's in the chat. What's good, Chelsea Brown? Valerie says Robert isn't feeling Holly like that. I don't know. Krista says no, he put out earlier today. Yeah. Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, hit the like button. It really does actually help. Thank you for saying that. I've been meaning to. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, it would make sense though. Okay, so yeah, we're at 24 likes. We got 35 people in the chat. If you are liking the stream, hit the like button. It really does actually help. Thank you, Kyrie. All right. I was gonna sit there and write this in the chat, but I really don't feel like going through that in some sort of way. But I want to ask this question to everyone, and I want to know what your thoughts are. And this is for the people that were what? Monique says if anyone is interested, Equalizer 3 is coming out September. I just saw it. What? It's funny, Monique, because I saw the first one and I liked it. And then the second one, I felt like it was kind of unnecessary. So I'm very divided if I should see the third one. Daisy Fly says, hey everyone, the Metro Crisis, the train accent, the Port Charles fire. I like those. Grams TV is in the chat. What's good, my friend? Let's everyone say what's up to Grams TV. It's been a hot minute since you've actually been in the chat. So it's great to see you. So let me know if I'm the only person that finds the word influencer pretentious. Let me know in the chat if anyone finds that like social media influencer. Does anyone else find that to be a very pretentious word or very pretentious when they call themselves a social media influencer? Please let me know in the chat. I was gonna sit there and write it out, but I was like, yeah, I don't feel like kind of going back and forth to make sure I spelled it right. But I want to know everyone's opinion on that. Shauna says Robert was out of order. I like that. I mean, if that's like a law joke, I like that. Navario says a little bit. Yeah, I find that to be very, I find it to just be pretentious. I really do. Ariana says Charles Hennessy, who plays Victor on GH, said his contract has been fulfilled and his time on GH has come to an end. Filming last scenes. Yeah, I think that he did a good job when they gave him good material to work with. I do. Krista says one Abby on what Abby on YNR. Okay, maybe we're talking about something else. Now, last day says, Albert, I feel RJ social media influencer. I can see that for me since I've become a YouTuber. Social media influencer sounds dumb to me as well. I'm glad I'm not the only person. It sounds very vapid. It sounds very vapid, you know? It's like I don't want to sit there and say it sounds like I'm trying to put this in a nice way without sitting there practically dissing every single person that does YouTube and content and stuff like that, but it just sounds so like they're above other people. Like I can influence people to do stuff. I think that's what it just. Yeah, it just sounds like this controlling thing. Like I can influence people to do stuff. Like I'm so good, and people love me so much that I can just influence people to do stuff. I don't like that. It's like a certain level of power that just goes to someone's head. And I think that's what just bothers me the most. It's like they feel like they're super important. Probably says wonder who made influence up. Yeah, I wonder who actually made that up to him. Me and that person needs to have a chat. Last day says it's what? Everyone says when people say that I look at what they are doing and I want to say influencing who sounds full of yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Daisy Flower says influence instead of public relations specialist. But you know what? Daisy Flower, I can sit there and take the public relations specialist over influencer any day. I even remember on Y&R, one of Noah's little girlfriends that he was going out with, when it was like, "Hey, what are you doing? What do you want to do?" And she was like, "Oh, I want to be a social media influencer." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what? Did you just really say that? Like that was a?" I don't want to sit there and say like it's not a job because it is, but I mean, this chick in some ways kind of said that in a way where it's like she was majoring it into something. Shauna says, I can't believe Abby told Ashley to move out of her home. She's not gonna let Jack bully her. She's only one standing 10 toes down. Now, Krista says, so Albert, that was a question. Wasn't Abby on YNR an influencer with? Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know, Krista. I didn't start watching it heavily until like maybe a year in. So I know, Krista, I know on actually tell you, I have no idea what the hell Kate actually does, or Katie on B&B does. Daisy Flower says Albert is basically the same thing though. Yeah, but it sounds less pretentious though. It sounds less pretentious. It really does. You're right, but it does sound less pretentious. Double C's in the chat. What's good, Double C? Last day says sorry about that. My comment messed up. It sounds like people are trying to say that they can influence what you believe. The first time I heard social media influencer, I laughed because it sounded dumb. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. Monique says I love when Tracy told Carly that the worst mistake AJ made was marrying Carly. Yeah, they were definitely going tit for tat. They were definitely going tit for tat on that one. Um, Johnny says Theo was an influencer, but he would be good for Audra. Who's Theo, Shauna? Now Krista says, and Christina was the mob princess with cameras following her around. Christina was played by Lindsay Morgan. Oh yeah, I remember that, Krista. Because here's the thing, Krista. I couldn't stand Christina back then. But I love me some Lindsay Morgan. Jesus Christ. That woman is bad. I used to love her. I used to love her on The 100. But yeah, I remember that. Now, Double C says Dio's the cousin of Kyle. Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I want to ask I want to sit there and ask everyone in the chat like their opinion on what they, if they think that the word influence is very pretentious in that. Now, Daisy Flower says, I want to get a job managing influencers. Nice. Not a fan of that word, but nice. Now, Shauna says, Kyle friend from college, but was his cousin. Oh, okay. Carrie says, Tracy, that was. Now, Carrie says, Tracy, that one chick that will read Carly her right, and Carly ain't gonna do about it. Tracy always been nasty, Carly. I'm all for keeping that petty energy. Krista says Lindsey Morgan has come so far. Oh yeah, no, I love Lindsey Morgan. I would watch her. I would watch her in almost anything. In almost anything. WC says when I tell you Lindsey Morgan was thick, man, and still is. Yeah, I can't watch her in that show. Um, Listen, when it comes to that show, it's Chuck Norris or nothing. Like seriously, it's Chuck Norris or nothing. Walker. Krista said can't stay, but have a nice evening, everyone. Have a good evening, Krista. Thank you for joining us. Oh, excuse me. Mel says Theo dated Summer and Lola on The Young and the Restless. I didn't know that. And Darby says, well, if Carly wants to hang out around the Quartermains, she's gonna have to have verbal battles with the Quartermains, especially Tracy. Darby says, wasn't that Christina taller and hotter? Yeah. She was. She was. It's just too bad that her character was just annoying as F. Jess is in the chat. What's good, Jess? Carrie says, I love when Michael tried to pump up Carly. Pump up Carly, my mom. Tracy, retort, you have my sympathy. Yeah, they were definitely going tit for tat. Shanna says Tracy nasty to everyone. Carly's not bothered when she gives it, she gives it back. Yeah, exactly, Shanna. That's exactly just how exactly how Carly is. Again, too bad this episode was just filler now. Hell, I even actually had to dock some points from Days of Our Lives. Like the first 5 minutes was literally the same stuff from yesterday, which sucked. So, well, yeah. A lot of people were sitting there saying that. I mean, Sean, I couldn't imagine who else Brooklyn would have called to try to get Chase out of that whole situation. And I might have, and I'm sitting there thinking about, I was like, I might have pissed off some people in my review. Kyrie says Carly is not a real match for Tracy verbally. They all had to come to Carly's rescue. Tracy would rash her some more if they didn't all intervene. I don't remember that. I don't remember it being that bad, Kyrie's, but I think it was more. I think honestly, tell you the truth, I don't even remember it being that bad at all. They just seemed like they were just joking with each other back and forth. Really. Valerie says Nina and Carly kissing. Yeah, it's Valerie. At this point, Sonny doesn't kiss people. He just swallows people's faces. Jakaris is in the chat. What's good, Jakaris? Jakaris, I caught you a little bit on Twitter Space. You was with some other people that I haven't heard of. Exactly, Jess. That's exactly. I was like, I don't remember it being that bad. Like you making it seem like Tracy was just giving it to her left and right, and Carly was just like, "Oh no." That I don't remember it being all like that. Um, it seemed like it was just more like playful, like we're just gonna go at it for a little bit. Cat ladies in the chat. Jakaris is in the chat. What's good? Mel says, Albert, you know that you said that you have watched TV shows back in the day. Well, I remember Carissa explained it all in Double Dare. Yes. Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart. That's right. Let's say what's up to Chikaris. And let's say what's up to Cat Lady. Carly better sit in her corner and respect her elders. And Jakara said, I got recorded my videos tonight. All right, that's what's up. I'm loving your reviews, Jakara, so keep it up. Just said Tracy, keep running her mouth. Here, I'm glad the other got at her too. Now, Nate says, according to GH News report, GH coming and going rumors hint that Kathleen has not confirmed a contract status. Mo new GH casting news supporting rumors about. Oh, wow. Well, that's crazy. That's right. Jakara's and Cat Lady is in the chat. I am loving it. Gemini says you want to know who was nominated for the Emmys. Oh, Valerie says Sunny was. Well, yeah, he's Sunny. Chelsea says the General Hospital Crisis, the Black and White Ball, Stone's Death, the Metro Core Hostage, the Carnival Fallout. It's funny. I think that's when I actually stopped watching it was the Carnival because I did start watching it for like a good couple of years actually. Then one day I was like, I got to get back into it. And I think it was because somebody I was seeing at the time, she was in the soaps and stuff, so it was more Days of Our Lives stuff. Now Monique says Maurice, Peter, Jason, Billy are nominated for lead actors. Yeah, Valley, I took a bit of a break, so have a good night, Denise. Denise, thank you for joining us. Let's everyone say what's good night to Denise. Daisy Flaw says Carly and Tracy were tit for tat. Carly can hold her own with Tracy. It reminds me of Monica and Tracy. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, Carly wasn't backing down. Double C say Tracy ruled today. She always slight but still. I feel like it was more tit for tat. Shauna said Tracy was so bad Edward left her out the will. She didn't get any shares. Kelly says the Jason motorcycle accident story when he lost his memories. Daisy Flowers says Carly and Tracy are basically the same. Hmm. Well, Daisy Flowers, how is Carly and Tracy the same? I don't really know much about Tracy's history, so if you can let me know how they're similar, that would definitely help me. Carly says, I'm just saying, if it was anyone else, Carly would flatline them, but she knows she can't do that to Tracy. Oh, I mean, I don't think it was like I don't know, a diss bat or anything like that. I think they were just kind of just jousting back and forth. Like it wasn't like anything that was like super contentious. Daisy Flowers said Tracy was so bad she left everyone on the floor when he was dying from a heart attack. Damn. Now Shauna said Tracy and Carly are nothing alike. Now I wanna know, okay. I wanna hear both people on that. Mel said I don't want Johnny to get her heart broken by Wendy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Mel, I'm so sick and tired of Johnny getting the shaft on these love stories. It's insane. Ariana says, why would Carly back down? Back in the day, she even came at Sunny. Yeah, because he's not backing down. He's not backing down from Tracy. She ain't backing down from nobody. She walked in a mob meeting with a baseball bat. Nah. Shakara says, I don't want Johnny to get his heart broken myself. I just feel like they keep screwing him over a little bit. Um, first the devil storyline. Oh, that's how he lost Chanel. Now this whole drug situation, him being drugged and practically about to lose Wendy. And honestly, tell you the truth, I'm like, yo, listen, Wendy, you can just kick rocks. Oh, I want to sit there and go on a date with Trip. Okay, lose my number. Now, Daisy Flowers says Tracy married two mobsters. Okay. Gemini says Carly and Tracy are not the same at all. I mean, okay. I mean, they married mobsters, but like, I what makes them the same? Like, other than that, Shauna says Tracy personally is brash, but nobody pays her no attention. Monique says, I remember when Sky confronted Tracy about how she got the funds to get EOQ on track by scheming for mobsters. Yeah, I'm very curious about how they're the same. I don't see it, but I also don't know the history with those characters. Also, seriously, I swear, if this was an emergency, I'll be so dead. Okay, cool. 28 likes and 30 people, so that's what's up. Have a good night, Tamara. Thank you for joining us. It was great seeing you in the chat. Hope I get to see you tomorrow. So when did Carly show up on? When did Carly on GH first show up on the show? I'm very curious. I know some people have been watching this for a long time. They've been watching this longer than me. I've only been watching this since the year 2000, so I don't know much about her or her arrival or anything like that. Very curious about that. So, oh, okay. Jakara says 1996. All right, thank you. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Jakaris. Wow, good memories. Perry says Chase better not throw a temper tantrum when he finds out Brooklyn went to Tracy to get his job back. He better say thank you. You're 100% right, Carice. I mean, let's be honest. He literally lost the job himself. Thank you, Renee Thompson. And how you doing tonight, Renee? Now, Shauna says when Sarah Brown played it, yeah. Yeah, aka the chick from VR, aka the chick from VR Troopers. Jakar says, well, I'm about to go film reviews. All right, have a good night, Jakaris. Jakaris, stay busy. I love it. All right, my dude Jakaris is he's doing it all. See you later, Jakaris. I'm loving it. This dude's literally doing it all. Balancing that schoolwork and doing these reviews and these Twitter spaces. I'm loving it. Gemini says Carly showed up when she found out that Bobby was her biological mom and she wanted to ruin Bobby's life, and she did by sleeping with Bobby's husband. Yeah. That sounds like about a trash move. I mean, very soapy. Harry says, yeah, 1996 sounds about right. Shona says she was something else, but she mellowed over the years. Blackman says, what are you drinking on Albert? And is there two cups? No, there is one cup. I just drunk the last of this, but I got this. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to actually find it though. It took me a minute to find it. Yeah, Val, no, it took me a minute to find it. I went to the wine store and I'm walking around, and the person, the guy's like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" It's like Moscato. Now this guy's seen me a bunch of times, so I'm walking around, and finally he points to, because he always sees me, so he points to where Moscato I'm looking for because he always sees me. I'm just like, I sat there and I was like, bro, if you knew where it was, why the hell did you actually have me walking around this whole time? Deja Flower said Tracy killed her first mob husband. Tracy. Ariana says, I love Laura Wright, but Sarah Brown made Carly rough and street and gave her the base from which she was able to rise up when Carly was presumed dead. Hmm. I don't, it's well, I guess for me because I didn't watch the show that long, and so when I watched her, she was practically on her way out the door, and that's when you had Tamara. Um, Tamara, I think that's her name. So that was the Carly for me for a while. And then they had that other Carly that we don't mention. Then we had Laura Wright. Monique says Sharon Case got nominated for lead actress. Her role has been support then lead. Seriously? I was just gonna sit there and do a video like, why is she even on the show? Like, is she necessary on the show? Digi Flow said, look what Tracy did to Alexis. Shauna says, I want to know how Nina gonna keep this from the SEC. Isn't it FTC? Everyone keeps giving. Well, yeah, it's gonna be she was all like, Martin, just make sure you keep my name out of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because that's gonna really last. Cat Lady says that's not the one I said. Oh no, trust me, Cat Lady. I got to go to a different store to get that wine because I went there with the actual paper because I wrote it down. So I'm gonna have to get it at my job. I'm gonna have to get it at my job. Oh, Shauna says SEC, but no, trust me, Cat Lady. I want to get that. It just requires me because there's a wine store by my place, by my job. So it just requires me to actually really think about that before I start to head home, and I'll sit there and ask him there. 'Cause I want to try. I really want to try it. Lady Floss says Security Exchange Commission. Oh, okay. SEC. Okay. Jess said Nina gonna lose everything after this. I can't wait to see it. Same. Same, Jess. Same. Jen said Diane will get out of jail soon. And Ashley's gonna sit there and have a fit like how she was having a fit before. It's gonna mess up the family and it's gonna sit there and mess up Jabot. And I'm like, Ashley, Jesus Christ. Um Gemini says Laura Wright came from another assault that got canceled and she was a mess. What show was that? Was it As the World Turns or was it what show was that, Gemini? She was on the one with Cindy Watts, right? Harry says Willow was annoying though. She was trying to be Marty. Oh no, I don't want Drew to risk his life trying to. Yeah, shut up, girl. Okay, I don't know. I don't know that. Oh, Guiding Light. Okay, thank you, Daisy Flower. I knew it was something. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. Darby says I want to see Tracy take a piece out of Nina verbally. Ooh, Darby, I want to see that too. I want to see that too. Thank you, Daisy. Seriously? Thank you, Daisy Flower. Shauna says that house will be a war zone. Always going to be something. Gemini says she played Carly on Guiding Light and she was a hot mess. Gemini says she played Carly on Guiding. Who played Carly on Guiding Light? Gemini. I mean, like she act like she was Carly, or like I don't. I want to understand. Carrie says, okay. Mel says, I think it's fair that Jack has Diane move in, so Ashley should have Tucker move in. Yeah, it seems like it's a very tit for tat game at this point. Lady Flo says she played Cassie. Oh, okay. But she was playing like she was. Okay, I got you. Tracy said, I mean, Gemini said Tracy's going to tell Nina that Sonny will leave. Gemini said Tracy's going to tell Nina that Sonny will leave for Carly. Leave her for Carly? Lady Flo said she was a heron on Guiding Light. Terry says, I like how Adam didn't even try to lie to Sally. He confirmed her assessment that she can be a pain in the ass. Yeah. But Kyrie's, yes, and I know that I'm glad you're in the chat. So one of the things that Adam was there happy about was that he was happy that he was having a girl instead of a boy because he didn't want the baby to grow up to be like him. He didn't, if he was a boy. But I'm sitting there thinking, well, if it's a girl, she can still grow up to be like you. You know, gender is not going to make that. Is not going to make it different as far as the choices and the things that, you know what I'm saying, like the stuff that he felt like he didn't want to pass that on, he can still pass it on. So I felt like that was interesting. I was watching that today. Jimmy says, leave her. Oh, okay. Leave her for Carly. Oh, okay. Shauna says, Ava started all this. Gemini says, Adam is having a girl. She should name her. You know, Gemini, I'm not. Okay, and Monique said this earlier. Well, she said this yesterday. So the previews came out, right? I think on Friday or Saturday. They already announced that they were having a girl. The episode didn't even show, and they already spoiled that. I'm like, now Ariana says still a Newman, yeah. As you know, Ariana, I just thought it was interesting. He was like, "Well, I'm so glad I'm having a girl because if it was a boy, he would inherit all my traits." And I'm just like, "Well, that's still a possibility, you know." And Victor having his talk with Victor having his talk with Nick. Shona says, I don't like Nick act like he gotta steal their joy. Now Carrie says that came across as sexist, Adam, my boy, but he should know this is the 21st century. Besides, lots of girls are daddy's girls. Yeah, yeah. I'm just like those traits can still be there. Yeah, it's so funny, you know, John, when you say that, because when I was watching YNR today, there was so many people um that was coming at Nick's throat like there was no tomorrow. And in some ways, I'm kind of glad that I only started watching this show now because of the level of hate and visceral towards Nick's character when it comes towards when it comes towards Adam, or just in general, it's so like Jesus Christ. You would sit there and think that this guy committed genocide or something. Everyone in the comment section, when I'm sitting there watching this show, is like, oh, Nick should sit there and bow out. Nick should sit there and leave them alone to let them, you know, um, to let Adam and his Sally raise their girl together. And it's just like, wow. Like, don't get me wrong. People have told me their reasons why they don't like Nick. So I get that. But I don't know. Jimmy says, I don't think Adam is bad. I think he is very smart, but damn, he can't get a break from Nikki, Victoria, and damn Nick, no matter how many times he saved Nick's ass and Nick's kid's life. Laurie says, I think Sonny will leave Nina, but it doesn't mean he will go back to Carly. Oh. Lady Flaw says Adam is blind. All he has to do is look at Victoria to see she like his dad. Perry says Nick should leave them alone. Yeah, I don't know. I guess in some ways I'm kind of glad that I'm coming in later on, you know. Because like I don't have those same feelings towards Nick. But to be fair, I don't have those same feelings towards Cody, and I know a lot of people don't like Cody. Eric says I know some ruthless women that are worse than Daddy. Monique says, in my head, I want Sally to say to Nick, Adam is the father of my child, and he will be included in everything that's involved. Our child, you don't get to dictate what parts he plays. This is not your kid. I feel like if things get out of control, I feel like that may happen. Because when they were in the room and they were looking at the the pictures and stuff like that, and they were laughing, you can see just exactly how annoyed and angry that Nick was being in that room. And I'm surprised that when he got that call from Victor, he didn't just leave right off the bat. Like he looked at his phone, was like, nope, I can stay here. He just looked like he was so angry, you know? I don't know. Now Nate says they have no chemistry. Um, Gemini says Nick is raising Adam's son Christian, so how many of Adam's kids do you want to raise, Dan? China says Sally wanted Adam to tell Connor. He said you got to talk to Chelsea first. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, you know. I just, hopefully they don't sit there and wait years and years and years like they did with Johnny, because that would be bad. And I think they learned their lesson from that. Kerry says Victoria is not on Victor's level. She still doesn't realize that power is not something you're given. Power is something you take. Shana says, Albert, did you see Nick as Adam? Are you coming? Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, Shauna. When he got off and he just looked, he was like, so, you coming, right? And Adam was like, no, I'm good. And he just kind of stood there like he just had that facial expression like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm so glad you brought that up, Shauna. See, again, this is actually why I want to do my damn review today. But of course, it's Hell Day. Honestly, touch you. I'm hoping tomorrow's actually a good episode. I'm glad you brought that up, Shauna. Last day said, yeah, Adam, you can still turn out to be like your Adam. Adam is one of my boys. Women can be just as ruthless, but Nick leave them alone and go be a grandpappy. Nick is not exactly the world's best person. Carrie says Victor can fire her at any moment. Yes, Carrie, you do remember what he said to Victoria? He was like, remember, I put you in that chair. I put you in that chair. He didn't even have to say the rest. He didn't even have to say the rest. Gemini says Connor will get Adam and Sally back together because, unlike Summer, Connor really likes Sally. That's time will tell. Yeah, of course, Mallory. He had to sit there and show his dominance. He had to show his dominance. And it's funny because that's not the first time I saw him do that. Um, maybe Shauna. But you know what? Here's my whole thing. Now here's my whole thing, right? People keep sitting there saying that Nick should leave Sally alone, right? Nick should leave Sally alone. Let Sally be with Adam. Why is nobody not giving that same energy to Sally? Like if you know what I'm saying, like Sally, at that point, Sally should want to be with Adam. No one's sitting there saying like everyone's sitting there giving Nick a lot of smoke, but no one's sitting there saying why can't Sally be with Adam? Sally should sit there and pick Adam. Sally should sit there and sense that Nick is not in love with you. And being in love and loving someone and being in love with someone is two different things. So I always find it very, very interesting. Mr. Bear, what's good, Mr. Bear? Do you think it's going to be half brother versus half brother on B&B? Yeah, it seems like they definitely do have some smoke. Um, Thomas was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, he's back. It's like, that's cool, whatever. Because you know what Thomas did. Cat Lady says Sally will deny that she wants Adam all the way up to the wedding. Hers and Nick. Now, Kyrie says, so I have a quick question. You saw Nick's reaction and attitude today and facial expression, yet it's still not clear to you why people are annoyed with Nick. No, I understand it. I get that, Kyrie. I get that. And I say I got that. But what I'm sitting there saying is, I mean, here's the thing. I've never been one to sit there and go with the crowd. I understand why people feel how they feel, but that's why I said for me personally, um, because you know what I'm saying, like when I think Gemini said, Gemini was like, when Nick got up, Nick was like, so you leaving, right? To sit there and try to make sure that he kicks Adam out the room. But my whole thing is like, Sally had that dream about, should she be with Adam or should she be with Nick? And in that dream, she knew that that Nick didn't really love her, and she knows that Nick doesn't love her. Yeah, I mean, like in love with her. So, I guess that's my whole thing. It's like, people are giving Nick a lot of smoke, right? But no one's there saying, well, Sally, you know that he's never gonna love you the way that Adam loves you. He'll, he's never going to be in love with you. He's never going to give you that fire, that passion. So why are you sticking with somebody who is second best? And she knows in her heart that it's second best. But yet everyone's they're constantly saying to Nick, yeah, you need to back off and let them be together. It's like, and this is 21st century. I mean, women can sit there and make their own choices. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't know. Nakari says Sally's just holding on to save Troy's neck can't break her heart because he don't have it. No, and exactly, and I get that. But see, that's her choice, though. You know, and I guess it's one of those things where it's like I'm not saying that people shouldn't give Nick smoke if that's how they feel. I'm just saying that let's give Sally some of that smoke as well, because Sally knows in her heart that Adam is in love with her and Nick only loves her. And I understand that, she's picking a safe choice, but doesn't this kind of go against Sally's writing? Wasn't Sally always like, adventurous, but now she's going safe for this long? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Laura Renee says Nina needs to make peace with the fact that Willow will never love her like her mother. She also needs to realize Sunny is going to leave her when she finds. Yeah, but Renee, Nina suffers from what I like to call Ninaism. Ninaism. It's a special level of delusion. It's a special level of delusion. Gemini says, Albert, people are coming for Nick because every time Adam is happy with someone, Nick throws salt. Nick tells all Adam women not to trust him. That's why Sharon, Sally, and Chris, um, Christian's mom. No, okay. I know, I get that. Well, I mean, I understand that to some extent. Gemini says, I bet no one is giving a pregnant woman smoke. I'm not saying smoke in that. Well, no, hold on. Damn right, Ariana Ninarism. Jonathan's in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? Um, Duwan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And Gemini says no one is giving a pregnant woman smoke. Kyrie says she's pregnant. She's not thinking straight, so I give her a pass. I also blame why he toyed with her emotions to be with that convicted felon. So, okay, all right. Um, Renee says I know that's why I say Nina's crazy. Now Johnson says just watch Superman Low. Jonathan, was it good? I mean, I know it's kind of a dumb question because I enjoy them all, but was it good, Jonathan? Gemini says no one is coming for Sal because she doesn't really know the real history of Nick Newman. Okay. I'm gonna have to kind of okay. I'm gonna have to kind of agree to disagree on that, but I get it. My position still kind of fall. My position still kind of stands on that. Johnson says it was good. I'm looking forward to watching it then. It's funny, Jonathan. It's really funny, Jonathan. Whenever I watch Superman Lois, okay, so I have to watch the Flash first before I watch Superman Lois because the quality, it's like watching something that's good and then the quality just dips down. So it's like I gotta watch the Flash first and then watch Superman Lois. Otherwise, it's just yeah. And Johnson said there was another reveal in tonight's episode. Oh, I can't wait. But you get what I'm saying though, right, Johnson, about the quality. Harry says that's damaged Sally long term. So when Adam also broke her heart, that's what changed her adventure side, and she turned to safe choice for Nick. Hmm. All right. I mean, here's the thing, Kyrie. I get what you're saying, and I'm not even gonna sit there and say that you're wrong. I got on some. I get what you're saying. I don't like everything just being put on Nick. But I get what you're saying though. I just feel like at some point, you know, she's pregnant. She's. I don't want to sit there and say she's damaged goods, but it's like let's just put everything on Nick. Like Sally doesn't have a brain and she doesn't have. You know, I just. You know what, Kyrie, you're more generous than I am. I will sit there and say that much. Why is it not moving up? Johnson says tomorrow is the return of Oliver. Nice. But you get what I'm saying though, right? Jonathan, as far as quality for me. Gemini says if Sally, aka Phyllis, about Nick, she would get an eye-opening version from what Sharon told her about Nick. Tracy says sorry was busy early, but I was listening to you. James doesn't talk about the actual problem he has had with the individual on YouTube. Maybe in his private Zoom he'll talk about it. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for saying that, Tracy, because I was wondering about that. I really was. Yuan says, but do you think Gotham Knight will ever last a season? No. I'm doubting it. I'm doubting it, Duan. I am really doubting it. Yes, save the best for last. But yeah, no, I'm doubting it. when it came towards canceling these shows, Duan, they didn't look at numbers. Well, they did look at numbers, but they didn't heavily look at numbers. Pretty much, they were canceling stuff beyond numbers, and I just don't think that Gotham Knight actually has numbers. Duan says Victor sees what Sally is doing. Have a good night, Chelsea Brown. Thank you for joining. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. But yeah, when they start canceling all those shows, a lot of them wasn't even about the numbers. So I don't see it happening. I don't see it actually being renewed. If it does get renewed, I'll be surprised. I will be surprised. Also for me, I was like, listen, I watched Gotham. I watched a show called Gotham once. I'm good. Now Gemini says Sally faked an illness to get Wyatt to stay with her, so holding a grudge against Adam really when all Adam tried to do was help her to keep her job at Newman. Yeah. And again, I know, Kyrie says, but Gemini Adam was cruel to her when he broke up with her. He called her pathetic. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Gemini says, I have learned that they cancel shows just because they want to. They do not look at ratings at all. When Steve Harvey talk show was canceled, his numbers were really good. Yeah. Gemini, you know what it is? The CW is going in a different direction. They want to start doing like reality shows and like sports stuff. So it's not even so much about the numbers anymore. It's literally because they just want to do they have a different format. They want to appeal to a more older audience. That's what it comes down to. And it's unfortunate, but Dewan says when the trailer came out from Gotham Knight, I thought it was a joke though. Yeah, Dewan, I would have gave it a chance. Now, Mr. Bear, what's good, Mr. Bear? Now, Mr. Bear says like how they canceled the Jeffersons. Yeah, Anita's in the chat. What's good, Anita? How are you doing tonight? Now, Gemini says Carrie's calling someone pathetic is way less harsher than faking near death and getting a doctor to create a fake illness. Johnson said, ironically, the CW just picked out two international shows that are teen dramas. John, it's funny too because they did sit there and say that they were going to go for international show. Whoa, what? That's odd. I mean, I know more than a half cup, but that's odd. What shows are there? What shows are they, Jonathan? Are you serious? Anita says I'm good. I'll be joining late sometime. Sometimes. Hope all is well. All is well. All is well. And I'm glad you are here tonight. Now, Dewan says I did give it a chance along with the Winchesters. How was the Winchesters, Dewan? Because I watched Supernatural, and after Supernatural, I was done. Gemini says every 10 years, CW cleans house and has new shows. Yeah, it makes sense because, they got to pay um these actors more money, the shows more money and stuff like that. So it makes sense, unfortunately. Mel says, Albert, did you ever watch Happy Days, Silver Spoons, and Three's Company? I watched Happy Days and Three's Company. Harry says that was the Bold and the Beautiful, pathetic attempt to redeem the baby stealer didn't work with majority of the fans base. That's why that B is gone. Damn. And then it says, "Can I good souls to all until next gathering." Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Gemini says, when the Gossip Girl, when the Gossip Girl era was over, the CW cleaned house and created new shows. Yeah, you're right. I did like that show though. Well, the original Gossip Girl. Johnson says the Winchesters is okay, but not as good as Supernatural. Yeah, I Jonathan, for me, there were so many different spin-offs that they could have done that I wanted them to do that I was just like they didn't do. Like they was gonna have something called the Waverly Sisters, and I was with it, but they didn't do anything with it. So ML says I watched Little Rascals TV series. Gemini says I still watch Three's Company. I can see that. I can see that. I guess me still watching it every once in a while. Like if it was like super early and I didn't really feel like watching anything else. Duane says it was interesting. I think they were doing a multiverse thing on the yeah. It's funny, Duane. I actually saw that part. I wasn't gonna watch the show, but I did remember seeing that part. Dewan, I'm not gonna lie. When they showed Dean Winchester, I'm like, that show is in trouble. That show's in trouble when you gotta sit there and get Dean Winchester back on the show just for a little bit. That show's in trouble. Monique says, gotta rewatch Superman Lois back, going back and forth. The chat Superman Lois, I can hear it, but I didn't get a chance to actually watch it. Well, I appreciate you, Monique. I do. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, if it was me, I'll be watching Superman Lois. But I appreciate you though. Now Johnson said the shows are called The Raising, and Barnes. I gotta look that up now. I'd be so dead. One day I actually gotta get a new phone. I really do. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Carrier says, I truly want to curse out the writers, whoever had that name the boy Wiley. It was, I agree with that, Kyrie, because I like the name John, not Jonathan, Jonah. I like the name Jonah. And Gemini says the problem TV networks are having is streaming. You can binge watch an entire series in a few hours. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's very hard to compete. What name was the other show? Why are you Are you serious? Now, Monique said, I've seen show gets canceled after 3 episodes. I've seen that too. I've seen that too. Now, Johnson said, have you watched a show called Walking Back Cottage? Very young John Travolta. Very, very young John Travolta. Ariana says probably one of the writers had a kid named Wiley. Cannot stand that. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of that name at all. Harry said Jonah, William, how even Riley would have been fine, but Wiley sounds like yeah. I wasn't a fan of that name. But I'm also not a fan of Rocco either. Because every time I think of Rocco, I think of Rocco's Modern Life, and I'm like, which I'm not gonna lie, they did actually have some episodes that was not safe for kids. Shannon says the following was good, but when you kill off the main characters, why watch? Shauna says who would name their son Wiley? Um, Scout. I'm not a fan of Scout. I do think that Wiley's probably the worst name. Rocco's the second worst name. They're both terrible names to be honest. They're both terrible names to be honest. No, John Curry says Jonathan at least Scout real name is Emily. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. A lot of people do forget that. Sometimes I've actually forgotten that too. Kyrie's. Elijah Day says Elijah Day says who would name their son Wiley? Crackheads. Crackheads. That's who would name their son Wiley. No, you. Monique says a good crossover in my opinion will be Clark Kent meet Claus. Come on, Kyrie, you know it's true. Let's just be honest about that. We both know that'll be true. Meet Claus. I'm genuinely curious, Monique, about a good crossover from my opinion be Clark Kent meet Claus. I'm waiting with bated breath on that. Harry says I know it's true, but yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Jamil says, "What's the real name of these kids have now? I couldn't do that much to my kid." Um, yeah. Leslie says, "Albert, yes, crackheads are the only people to name their son that." Yes. De Havilland is in the chat. Was good, De Havilland. Thank you for joining. Hmm, I don't know. Monique says we had a TV at our White Castle in the lobby, and I get distracted watching Supernatural. No, no, but Monique, what was the? You said what? You were saying a good crossover. So what's like you said Clark Kent and Claus. Monique, you said a good crossover in my opinion would be Clark Kent meet Claus. So I'm very curious about what you thought what that hmm. Mel says Wiley Coyote version the Roadrunner. Yeah. It's not a good name. It's just really not. Ben is a good name because Benjamin, but yeah. But yeah, no, Monique, I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that. Perry says if my future baby mama dared to try to name my son that first, I get a D name. I'll take her to court for full custody so fast. Damn. Johnson says Howard would have been a good name. Yeah. Now D1 says Victor Casson is already trying to be Thanos. Yeah. His version, it's funny too, 'cause his version of saving the world is practically killing off, well, pretty much everyone. Well, pretty much a large amount of people. So this way, his vision, he can have his type of people, and I don't, I gotta sit, okay, and I gotta sit there and wonder. I gotta wonder how do people feel about, um, never mind. I'm not gonna sit there and go there. Never mind. I think I already talked about it with me and GH Envy, so I'm not gonna really retread on that. Amal said, did you ever watch Once Upon a Time or the crossover fairy tales? It looked interesting though. I'm not gonna lie, it looked interesting. Especially when they got Elsa from Frozen. It looked interesting. Look interesting. I don't know. I think at that time I was just so much into so many other different shows that it was like Carrie says, well, if my brain came up with that name, I wouldn't be able to trust her judgment, so I definitely need just to confirm that. Shauna says, anyone watch Chicago PD? Johnson says, I like to see Spencer and Valentine put aside their issues and team up to stop Victor. Here's the thing, John. I'm looking forward towards. Oh, Jonathan. Also, what did you think of Days of Our Lives? I want to know what your thoughts on Days of Our Lives is. Tony D is in the chat. What's good, Tony D? Happy Tuesday. Hell day is over. Very happy about that. I survived. Gemini says, so many blue weather saying those are his name. In the 80s and 90s, those kids would have gotten teased and beat up. Now, just said, I like the name Saint. Johnson says, I thought Days was all right. Jim E. Nice ramen cup. Thank you, Jim E. Jim E is also new, so let's everyone say what's up to Jim E. How you doing tonight? See, the like button actually really does work. It really does work. Tony D says I see Nina on one. I see Nina on one on some mess again today. Face orange, raising eyebrow. Yeah, she suffers. She suffers from this thing called Ninaism. Okay, I said this before my life in my review. Jim E's in the chat. Monique says if you name your kid, give it a name they can spell and can pronounce. Give the kids. Anita says I watched Chicago PD, but haven't seen it in a while. Last episode I saw was Roy. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, Funny D says a lot of people who start trouble then run the other way. But a coward. Oh yes, you're a mess. And he says, can we not talk about Nina and pretend we didn't? Johnson said, yeah, Tony D. Johnson says more Ninaisms. Yep. You know, the funny thing was, that name, it just kind of came to me because it's like Nina is a special level of delusional. Nina is really a special level of delusional. And it's like you can sit there and point out so much common sense. Like exactly, Jonathan, the last interaction that Carly and Nina had, when Nina was like, "It's your fault that I'm not coming to the wedding," and Carly was like, "No, you treated Nina like dirt when Nina you treated Willow like dirt when Willow was a teacher, and you sat there and you tried to put her job on the line. This is on you. Why you're not coming to the wedding?" Monique says from the original Star Wars. You know, Monique, I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure. Um, oh yeah, no, I know Klaus. That's Jesus Christ. Niklaus Michelson. It would have been epic. Monique, you actually watched that show, right? What did you think of that show? If you actually did watch it, I'm very curious about your take on it. Dewan is giving emoji. Tony D says, "Why does Nina think Carly is a puppet master?" Uh, Ninaism. At this point, whenever Nina does something extremely stupid, tries to revive history, I think it's just very safe to say that Nina suffers from a severe case of delusion that can only be classified as Ninaism. By the way, what the hell actually are we on the like situation? Ariana says it was so funny when you said it for the first time. All Nina idiots crap flashed through. It's true though. She literally sat there and blamed Carly. You treated this woman like dirt. You literally treated her like she wasn't a person. But then she was like, "Oh, but she's my daughter now," and that means what? And that means what? Tony D says, "I like that new word." Yes, that is the word that we're gonna go with. Now, Johnson says Ninaism with an R. Ninaism, yes. Thank you, Jonathan. Ninaisms, yes. See, Ariana, this is why I love you, Ariana. This is why I rock with you. That was my show, by the way. That was my show. That was my show. That was my damn show. And of course, Elijah was his own level of badassery. Um, Monique says I had a kid in my classroom in grammar school. His name was what? I Joe Mort. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I can't pronounce that. Laura B says it's a good word, Ninarism. Yes. Every once in a while, I can sit there and come up with something interesting, I guess. Johnson said Nina first word, Ninarism second word. Yeah, Ninarisms. Laura B says it's a good word, Ninarisms. Yep. Now Monique says Helena is Helga from Thor. Ariana says crushed her heart on clouds but fell first on the vampire. Of course, Ariana. It's funny, Ariana. I was meant to trying to explain that to my friend, and because he wasn't really into the whole supernatural stuff, but I was like, all right, to try to get him to watch the show, I tried to compare the Vampire Diaries, like the world or whatever, to like Dragon Ball Z. And it seemed like it got him into the show more because it made sense as far as like, the older you are, the stronger you are. So I thought it was very funny, because it's like you watch the Vampire Diaries and it's like a lot of them are very basic until the originals come in and then you watch the originals and it's a whole thing. That's how I think I actually got him into watching the show though, was comparing it to Dragon Ball Z. Well, Gemini says Nell is really like Nina, wasn't she? No, blame. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Johnson said Ninaisms as in her last name, Reeves. Yes. Just like, yes, Klaus is my guy. Klaus is my guy. Of course, Elijah was my other guy, but yeah. And Marcellus was my guy as well. So apparently, I had a lot of guys. Um, Harry says the writing bent over backwards to keep Nell oppressed with Carly when it didn't even make any sense. Obsessed, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. And Kyrie, that was the problem, is that Nell became a very one note character, and I couldn't stand that. It was so annoying watching her. Shauna says Sonny's been around Nina too long. He's delusional too because he tells everyone who listens she's changed. So Shauna, what your Smith is saying is that Ninaism can be contagious. Ariana says the originals took place on my home ground. Oh, New Orleans. It's funny, Ariana, is that I kind of, when I was watching the show, I really wanted to take a trip to New Orleans. It really did want to make me take a trip to New Orleans. Now Johnson says you say Ninaisms. I say Nina Riz Nina Reevesisms. Reasons? Okay, I'm a little tipsy, but Nina Reevisms. Hmm. Hey, what, we got a new person in the chat. Somebody said hi to Jim. I don't see a Jim in the chat. When he says, "Hey Jim, how are you?" Tony D says, "LOL, can we get a vaccine?" Shauna says, "I guess he got Sonny Sunnyisms, I love it. Tony D, or no, no, not Tony D, but somebody said hide gems. Now, Ariana says my mom is from Baton Rouge. I live in New Orleans now. I live in New Orleans now. Oh, okay. See, nice. Anna J's in the chat. What's good, Anna J? Carrie says at the very least, Nina has a valid reason to hate Carly. Carly kept the fact of having her two daughters from her. Whether Carly reason was right or wrong, that's reasons for Nina to hate. Reason for Nina to hate now none. Yeah, no, I get that. It does make sense. I'm very curious because somebody said, okay, so Anna J says, "Hi, Jem, how are you?" I don't see a Jem in the chat. And Monique said, "Hey, Jem, how are you?" Where's the Jem? Now Carrie says Carly didn't even do anything to now for now to talk to her so hard. What's good, Anna J or Anna Jeanette? Mel says I'm watching this crazy and scary horror movie called Us and chatting. Called Us. When did the movie come out, Mel? Just says, didn't she hide Nell from her? I don't remember. Yeah, her and just her and Jax. Laura B says I'm going to call it a night. Have a good night, Laura B. Thank you for joining. I'm very curious about this person that's Jim in the chat because I didn't. Now Johnson says Nina Reeves equals Nina Revisms. Nina Revisms. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie because I just read that and now what? Ninaisms. I no, I get your version, and it actually does make sense. What's good, Dave? Dave. How the hell are you doing tonight? Anita said for some reason I think Ava is setting Nina up. Well, what makes you theorize that? Just say, oh yeah, she is valid to hate her, but who cares how Nina feels? Damn. Dave said, why'd you say my name? Why'd you say my name in that way that you did? I don't remember. I just well, it's also like 2 hours in, and I was gonna sit there. I guess you know what it is, Dave, because I was hoping you was actually gonna come in a little bit earlier, but it wasn't like meant like any sort of disrespect. It was just like, where the hell have you been at? Have you been? Also, I'm about to sit there and wrap up this live soon, so I kind of wish you would have came in a little bit earlier. Because here's the thing, I always feel bad when people come in to the live stream, um, when I'm at the end. So yeah, that's why I said it, but not as like disrespect or anything. Mel says the movie Us has been out for a while. All right, Mel, I'm gonna have to sit there and look that up. I might want to watch it at some point. No, Dave, it wasn't meant to like insult you. Justin says, do you think Wendy will go back to Johnny or stay with Trev? You know, Johnson, I'm so annoyed with the situation. Um, I know that she is going to follow through with Trip because she did say she was going to be with Trip, like she was going to go on a date with Trip. Um, I don't know. You know, at this point, there's something about Wendy that I'm just not really liking anymore. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just not really liking anymore. Um, it just says, honestly, tell you the truth, you know, even in the beginning when before you got here, I was like, listen, if I was oh Johnny, I'd be like, yo, listen, you can kick rocks. Um, you starting to piss me off. Now they said I didn't think that was being disrespectful. I had some things to take care of, but no, you did not disrespect me. Okay, good, Dave. Good, good, good. Monique says, to answer your previous question, I did watch the originals of Vampire Diaries until my cable got cut off. As for me, that's also I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, no, Monique, I love the Vampire Diaries. I love the Vampire Diaries. I personally thought the last season could have been better, but yeah, I love the Vampire Diaries. Um, Ariana says they filmed the originals in the oldest part of the city that's over 150-year old. Locals worked on the series. Nice. But yeah, Ariana, I wanted to go to New Orleans so bad after watching the originals. Like when I was watching the originals, I want to go to New Orleans. I'm gonna sit there and see this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that movie. Okay. Thank you, Mel. And thank you, Jess. Well, hell, actually, tell you the truth, Mel, where are you watching it at? Thank you. Jesus Christ, this movie does look a little kind of creepy. I like it. Um, I now actually I have to sit there and find where to watch it. Now Monique said Nina realisms. Ninarisms. Another says I think I started watching GH when Johnny Sakar and Claudia was on. Those stories probably got me hooked on GH. Same time Sonny shot Dante. Oh yeah. Anita, that was the Bob Guza days. Okay? That was the Bob Guza days. And Mel says I love Get Out movie by John Peel. You know, Mel asked that was another movie I want to say. Oh, no, where are you watching this? Where are you watching this other movie at though, Mel? Like you watching it on Amazon Prime? Like I want to know the streaming service you're watching this on, so this way I can try to watch it. Johnson says watching another episode of You Will Kill Joe. Watching another episode of You Will Kill Joe. I don't get it. Like, are you saying, John? Are you saying that you're watching another episode of You, or like it's this new show? I'm very curious about that. And Tony D says, "LOL, Drew took her room, blue face smiling." Is that an emoji? Very curious about that. You know, yeah, Jess, I'm actually glad that you're in the chat. So I got one more episode of She-Hulk, and then I'm gonna start on the latest season of You. So when I do, then we can sit there and talk about it. Because you know, I'm like, how many months behind now on that show? Monique says, why doesn't, why doesn't hate Jason for his part in keeping AJ from him? Just as, oh yeah, finally, I know. I'm getting through that season now. I mean, I'm getting through that list. And that's the thing, Jess. I think once I finish watching you, I'm gonna finally finish watching This Is Us. I'll finally finish watching the last season of This Is Us. And I'm still watching A Million Little Things, and that's all I gotta say about that. Johnson says, yes, I'm watching a season 4 of You. Killer Joe is my new nickname for the character. Oh, okay. I just know, John. I just want to make sure we're on the same page about what you're talking about. Mariana says they announced the season 4 of You will be the final season. Yeah. Yep. Just like the what are we on season 5 of Cobra Kai, which that's going to be its last season. So, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with it. I just hope that when the season does come out, that I'll be so caught up that when the season does come out, I can actually watch it with everyone else. And Jess says no, there will be a season 5. Now Ariana says they announced the season 4. Oh, okay, yeah. No, Jess, you're right. Yeah, there will be another season. Yeah, there's going to be another season. The next season is the last season. Jess is right. I do remember reading about that. Harry says, I sure hope Nina doesn't go crazy and kidnap Wiley and Amelia. No, I think those crazy days of Nina is over. Those crazy days. Now, that doesn't solve her Ninaism problem. China says while Tracy called Drew illegitimate, they are to remember Lila was married to her ex-husband, but they didn't want nobody to know. Yeah, that's very true. Jesse, yeah, she's doing kidnapping children. Yeah, she's done doing yeah, for now. I don't, yeah, I was like, I don't think we're actually going to sit there and revisit that. Carrie says that's why I said crazy. She's still crazy. Dave says I don't think Nina is that cruel to kidnap her grandkids. Well, Dave, never say never. Never say never. Ariana says it's okay, but I will recap the episodes for you. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you. Oh, hopefully, like I said, because there was so much stuff I was backed up on. I'm still backed up on. I still want to sit there and finish watching the last season of Titans. I still want to finish watching The Umbrella Academy. I still want to start watching Warrior Nun. So yeah, I still got a lot of stuff to sit there and watch. I got a list. Johnson says, "Have you?" No, I haven't yet. I haven't yet. I want to get to it at some point. I do, but there's something called Lev. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, Gemini. I want to sit there and watch that. I want to watch it. But there's something else though.